morning, everyone. We woke up to no super cold air and no frost, so all the plants should be safe. It didn't get anywhere near as cold as they said. It got down to 39.4, not 34, not 32, so not that cold. Don's already out here taking down stuff. He's such a good guy. Artie and Striper in the house, and I don't see Morris, but I'm guessing maybe he moved off with Don, taking stuff down out here. I don't know. Hopefully he'll come back in a minute. I've hollered for him. Here's Morris. Come here, buddy. I got food over here. Come here, Morris. Here's breakfast. Morris, here you go, bud. Hi. Oh, look at that big stretch. Good morning, buddy. Good morning. Good morning. The other guys will be out in a minute. I'm folding, and I'm doing a good job of ones I might actually use in the house and ones that are just for plants. I guess it is Wednesday morning at 10:01. It's the Sharon Harris test. I didn't actually see that it was happening this morning, but Wednesday's at 10. I'm just back from the cul-de-sac. I blew the driveway and everything I could. I couldn't finish the cul-de-sac. I needed a second battery. But I'll get back down there. I did what I could. It was pretty bad between here and there, so it took a bit. Everything's out. Don's got a couple of tarps to fold. I'm sure he needs my help with those. And I was going gangbusters on everything else, so. Fixing to go in and finish the last few sips of my coffee. I left it on a warming thing, so it ought to be ready for me. Hi, Tux. It's a good boy. It's a good boy. Hi. Well, certainly can't complain at how nice a day it is today. And I'm thankful that none of my plants got damaged. And I'm thankful for Don's help, because it was a lot of work. I'm wore out, and it was just, I only did my half. Hi, Gray. Hi, hi. Hi. How's my girl? Hi, sweet pea. Good girl, good girl. Don's gonna be happy. I just put bacon in the oven. And I have lots of help over here this morning. I do. It's fine. It's okay. Yeah, I didn't think you were going to sleep inside too long. He's been there for like 90 minutes now. I got the video done with Gray, and he's been asleep over there the whole time. Hi, baby girl. Well, we're going to town on the quiche and the bacon now. The quiche is onion and ham and cheese in there. Cream, spices. I'm up here at the top of the hill. I primarily wanted to see if I saw any poison ivy, because I worked pretty hard to get rid of it up here last year. But if there is some, I need to know. I see one little tiny piece so far at the base of that tree. That would be just they come out with a pair of plastic gloves and pull it up or send Dawn. Well, there's several pieces here under the Nandina around that tree and headed that way. So, nothing I can do about it today if I wanted to spray something on it, because it's just too windy. The only thing I will use any kind of chemical on is poison ivy and poison oak. And I can't really tell the difference. I just apply it. These kids that are on the trampoline, I haven't seen them come over here into the wooded area, but every time they're up here playing, since I know what it looks like and I know it was over here last year, I worry about them. So if I can knock it down for me and for them, that would be a good thing. I'm seeing a couple of leaves in there, but not like it was, like, you know, I really made a dent last year. Well, most of the green you're seeing here now is stilt grass, and that's just the way it is. And I certainly saw enough poison ivy that I need to come up and kill the little bit that I saw. But I'd say it's a fraction, just a fraction of what was up here last year, because I stayed on it last year pretty darn good. Alright, well, let's get me out of here though. Everything that we planted, that's that chalupa. Oh wow, there's a piece of poison ivy. Right there, there's several pieces. No, Stripey, don't come that way. Mom's getting out of there so you don't go in there. And that's the main reason for me is, you know, generally when I'm out here, I can spot it and stay away from it. But if the cats have rubbed up against it, especially Stripe, who's a rubber, then, you know, I need to get rid of it so they don't bring it home to me. Yeah, there's quite a little bit right in here, too. Hey, in there amongst the wild grapevine is poison ivy. There's a lot of it right here, actually. Okay. I didn't step on it or come into contact with it, I feel sure. Better hope I'm right. We're trying to head to the WRAL Azalea Gardens, and
she's not doing particularly well.
Yeah. Oh, goodness.
Took her 30 seconds too long, and that's not an exaggeration. We were at that stop sign for 30 to 45 seconds, and it was clear the second we got up there. So she basically spent 15 to 30 seconds or more too long trying to decide what to do.
Yeah. It's going on 1:30, and we may or may not go to the weight room after we get back from up there. We're just going to see. Michelle can't make it tomorrow to Guardian Angel. I'm thinking I'm probably going to go anyway because Dawn has a rather intense working call at 9 a.m. and is going to be, you know, tied up with that for a bit. So me being available or staying home wouldn't buy us anything. We're supposed to have a 1/4 inch of rain Thursday night into Friday morning. So we're thinking about that as far as indoor versus outdoor exercise. It'll all work out. But right now we're full of bacon, so we certainly don't want to go lift weights right this minute because I got in my head I was cooking. So navigation has taken us past Lake Wheeler and then past Yates Mill on the way up to Western Boulevard because WRAL is kind of on the west side of downtown. We like this route just fine versus going up past Wake Tech and over the turnpike, so just as well. Don had an interesting point a minute ago and just basically said, you know, you get as much out of grok as you're good at specifying what it is exactly you're looking for, and I would say I found that to be true with Lego stuff. That if I want, like I was asking for help with counting studs on something the other day, and the more specific that you are, the better. And, you know, it's nice that the AI, grok in particular, that's the only one I can really speak to, is the only one. Don sometimes uses Copilot or Gemini, but I pretty much only use grok. You know, he doesn't get bent out of shape when you tell him he's wrong. Usually he's very contrite about it, I would have to say, so that's good. As I asked him really hard the other day, very specific in this case, to show me a labeled picture of the U.S. Supreme Court, and he just couldn't. I guess when you ask for him to show you a picture, he can't go find a picture on the internet and show you. He can only construct a picture. And he kept on just doing these generic old men. Like, I swear he didn't show me one picture that had a woman on the court. And it certainly, I couldn't remember the names of all 9 judges. I knew a few of them. I mean, I would recognize John Roberts or Clarence Thomas or the new lady who's, Barrett. But I wasn't going to be able to name or visually remember all of them. And I just wanted to get it right because it's been a few years. I wanted to know who they all were. You should know, but you should, you know, as an American citizen, don't you think you probably ought to be able to name, let's just say 7 out of 9 of the U.S. Supreme Court justices, that would be something you would know. I'm sure, you know, So anyway, but Brock, I gave feedback that no, and no, because I tried 3 different times to get what I needed. But Don's was a coding example.
Right. Yes. I knew what I wanted to do, and I've done it before, but I just didn't want to look up the syntax again. So instead of just saying what's the syntax for a proc statement, instead of just saying that, which is really all I really needed to know, I said, hey, I need a proc statement that has this name and it has these 4 parameters, please. And it's boom, there it was. It's like, hey, that's really good. You know, it used the 4 parameters. I gave them the names that I wanted them to be, you know, and he coded up the proc statement just like I would have typed it, and I just literally copied it, pasted it into my JCL and ran it, and poof, good.
There's the cow farm and the ice cream place. We just went past Yates Mill on the left, so I'll be dreaming of ice cream now.
Yeah. It's the only problem with coming this way.
And remembering good times with our friends from Colorado when they were visiting, stopping in there to get ice cream after a walk at the Yates Mill.
Yeah, I think that's the weather station right there.
Wow, she brought us right into the parking lot on the end where we would normally park.
Yeah.
Don took over though.
Yeah, well, it's a little busy.
Yeah, well, this is why we're here on a weekday. Like, there was no way we were coming. That's where the Chargers are down there, where the white Model Y is. Don's going to back in here, I think, behind us, right?
Yeah. I was just checking to see how skinny these were.
Anyway, that Tesla's probably plugged in. What I started to say was that, you know, we came on a weekday, a Wednesday afternoon, because it's so popular on weekends, especially in the spring when the tulips and the azaleas are out. Look at that one woodsy azalea. That's what I want mine to do down there by the mailbox.
Yeah. Yeah.
In 25 years, in my lifetime, maybe still, could it please look like that?
Yeah, maybe.
You laughing at me? That's funny. Thanks, Donnie. You just keep on laughing at me. Anyway, it's more crowded than I thought it would be for a Wednesday afternoon, but
Well, it's because the weather is so nice.
yeah, the weather's nice, and they're all retired people like us.
All old folks like us.
I was going to say we're not really.
It's a young couple.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, these camellias right here don't look super happy. Maybe because of the cold, and they're just finishing up, I guess. Nah, the tulips were just done.
Oh, those are just done?
Yeah, notice up here this. That's indicative that
It's just done.
it's just done. Versus ours, which are actually chomped off. Yeah, all the tulips here are finishing up. They don't like heat, and we had those close to 90-degree days. That was real hard on them. I don't remember seeing peonies here before. And they have quite a few of them here on both sides of the walkway, including a Dawn. Yeah, the buds have started. And they have the little, see, Donnie, how they have the little peony ring?
Yeah,
The circular
I see that.
thing.
Yeah.
I told you those things under the house, this is what they're for.
Uh-huh.
And you can see the buds. Because the flowers, especially if they were to get wet after they open, they're very heavy and they need support. Let's go this way. So we never seem to make it when the hydrangeas are in bloom. At least not at their very best, but there's lots of hydrangeas. They've cleaned this out or redone stuff over here.
This is new. This was not here.
Yeah, the piece of art. Well, I do think the artwork was here, but these rhododendrons and things that they've planted around were not.
Maybe they opened it up?
Yeah. I think they pulled something out and put something else in. These are Sasanqua camellias here. I'm liking this Japanese maple. Check it out.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say no to adding this particular Helleborus to my garden. It's a nifty little multicolored, fluffy, maybe a triple-like flower. Deer love hosta, so we don't have a lot of hosta in our yard. You want to plant something pretty much for sure to get ate by the deer, a hosta is your plant. Besides, Don doesn't have great appreciation for shades of green.
Nope.
If he's going to help me out in the yard and work, he wants flowers.
I want bang for my buck.
Right, he's not into green things.
The only thing I want green is money.
Well, yeah, there is that green thing. I was talking about plants, but yes. Wow, I like that. I like that bird bath. I keep looking for just the right bird bath for somebody to sell used on Facebook Marketplace. I like that. Don's going to love me when I find the right one and we have to haul home 300 pounds of cement.
Reminds me of Janet.
Yeah, she made you move something or ask for assistance moving something from one house to the other.
Concrete horse trough thing of the mom, it was heavy.
But you did it for Janet.
Did it for
Janet's our friend with Horse and Buddy.
That's right.
Therapeutic horse riding. So of course it had to be with her, it had to be horse related. But don't worry, Janet has 5 or 6 dogs, a pig, and 3 or 4 horses. So her and I, we are simpatico about animal loving and things done for animals. The red's pretty.
It is. It's gorgeous. Booming.
Yep.
It's probably going to oversaturate on the camera.
Yeah, this is a variety of pink. I would say this is a half and a half. It's not pink and it's not white. So, but dogwood is the state flower. Tree, flower, bush. Tree, bush. It's the state something. Yeah, we have a lot of dogwoods here. We're used to anyway before the blight took them. Oftentimes we've come up here and sat by the tree for a minute and looked out over the expansion area. And they're here today expanding. They have done a good job. I think, you know, obviously they're in there working, so they've got it closed off. But we'll go out on the sidewalk and you can see what they're doing from the sidewalk. Don's picking. This is, Donnie, I think maybe the Kusa. Yeah, there's been a few things that I didn't see a plaque for today that I wish that I had. Huh? Yeah, that's purple oxalis, aka the shamrock plant. Oh, Donnie, look.
Yep, I recognize that one.
Well, it looks similar to yours.
Yeah.
It would have to have been a high graft, though, right, to be in the ground and still up that high. Yep, I don't see a name on it. Don just correctly identified Helleborus.
Yeah, I only see this all the time.
Yeah. So this interesting story to tell. You know, I used to show up at work with a lot of plants.
Oh yeah.
Betta fish and plants. And Don goes, "Oh, you know, you brought in a Schefflera. Wow." And I'm like, "Say what?" Umbrella plant.
Like 3 plants.
Right. The rest of the world calls it an umbrella plant, but Don had the official Schefflera, and I'm like, "Whoa, let's just let me just touch you."
Right.
And you tour the garden with an engineer, they point out screws with springs holding signs. That way the tree can expand and the sign comes out without you having to come out with the drill and loosen the screws.
That's stainless steel screws.
They won't rust. I'm not familiar with this one. It's called Red Select, but it looks a lot like Orangiola or, you know, some of the other weeping varieties. It's pretty. It's pretty. No, I'm not driving. I'm walking through the gardens enjoying right now. I always like these woodsy azaleas, this tall thing that looks like it has honeysuckle for flowers. But the two we have in the yard, they're so hard to get going. They've just never taken off. My luck with them hasn't been good, I guess is what I'm saying. So this is a Kusa, Donnie. Dogwood.
But it hasn't started blooming yet. It blooms in the summer.
Either it's done, or it's later, or it's just not tall enough to do its thing yet. I don't know. You would think it would be blooming.
I remember that was what we liked about that. We went for that walk and that dogwood said, "What's that thing?" It looks like, and you said, "Oh, that's a Kusa dog."
Right. Well, we've planted that now because it's not subject to the blight that's killing all the other dogwoods in the state. It's from Japan. So if you like dogwoods and you want to have better luck, so is this a harp string? It looks a lot like that one off the back. It says cut leaf maple. I'm just going to tell you that this is a harp string with those delicate little tiny leaves.
We have one of these, right?
We do, and ours isn't doing so well. I think I watered it too much last year, so we're going to try less water. And I got some 0.500 fertilizer for trees in distress. That's what they recommended. It's a very minimal fertilizer for it. This is the mock orange plant like I have out near our mailbox, and I did get just a hint of it smelling good, but most of the flowers on it are not really open yet. So mostly yellow tulips. Not my favorite. I like multicolor ones that look like stained glass in the sunlight. I'm not going to quite have the story right, but this thing bloomed a year or two ago, and then after they bloom, they die. And this is the new one they planted after the other one died. So, yeah, honestly, that's about the size fountain I want. I know. But I can look at it and appreciate it, and, you know. Remember when we were here for Johnny with his friends for prom pictures? I'm coming to this woodsy azalea over here. I think right now with the sun on it, it's pretty much the prettiest thing in the garden. Sometimes we get treated to the helicopter coming and landing on the roof while we're here, but so far not today. The plaque, the tag for this one said Ramagata. I'm not familiar with this one either. They moved the bunny on the bike down in here. It was out in the grass previously, or at least when it initially arrived, that's where it was. I guess this spot here is picking up pinks and purples and magenta and red and lavenders and
even a sprinkle of white.
Yeah. This is a good vantage point to show off just how enormous the azalea field is. They only added this a couple years ago, 3 years ago. They started on it. It's a nice addition to the garden. Time we come, I bet we'll be able to walk down here.
Yeah.
I think they'll be done with the sidewalks and the installation of the plants and stuff. Yeah. Some places they've put pavers. Some's just going to be a natural trail. But you can see they looks like maybe a little pond. I'm seeing some pebbles down there and a bridge. And this is the end where I had enjoyed coming because there were several Japanese maples planted.
That's right. They've been growing maples down here for several years.
Yeah. Well, I guess they installed them knowing they could come back in and add. That maple there on the end looks a lot like your Tamakuyama, whatever it is. We just love the names we can't pronounce. I bet it's this.
Oh, they got a new bridge down there.
Right, that's what I said. I think, well, I guess maybe the pond isn't the right word. Maybe the right thing is rainwater cleansing, natural runoff area. That one straight ahead there, that's dark red, might be a blood good. That would be the one next to the carport. that's in the pot. But look at all the azaleas up there.
Yeah.
It's very nice. I look forward to walking through. This part of the garden does lack a tall shade tree in that one spot though.
Yeah, that is going to be sunny.
More sunny, more irrigation down here. Because this is thick with shade on this end.
Yep.
We were coming past the state farmers market anyway, so I asked Don to stop in and let me look at the plants, as scary as that is for him. Very pretty. Something you don't see every day. Well, I didn't buy anything at the farmers market. No plants. That's what I was looking at. They were too pricey. No deals. And we did stop at Harris Teeter coming through town. I picked up a couple things. It's going on 5 o'clock now. No Legos, just
No Legos.
paper mail.
Yeah.
And junk mail at that.
Probably so.
Doing bags 6 and 7, but 7 is really small, so we'll see where I stop tonight. So I did 3 bags. I did bag 8 also. 8 was this window and columnar area on the back side of the building. Remember, the front is always where the circular sidewalk, ending sidewalk is. And then 6 and 7 built the exhibits here. And the little exhibit signs are so cute. They're identical, but yeah. So you can see the carnivorous plants there on the right in the lime green. Pretty neat. This almost looks like trumpet flower here with the little yellow arching down things. It's pretty cute. And also the stairs. So I am stopping for now though.